I'll tell you. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, जमुना तीरा वनचारी, जमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, जमुना तीरा वनचारी, जमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्णा सभी बोलिए, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura, Haribol, Haribol, Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna. I welcome all, and I take the opportunity of introducing Nitai Madhav Prabhu, Nitai Madhav Prabhu, who came from Mumbai to address us today. Prabhuji has completed his B Pharmacy from Narsi Monji Institute of Technology in 2005. So the same year in which Chaitanya Avatar Prabhu completed his engineering. So both of them got introduced and then they started serving mission of ISKCON, and Prabhuji has continued his studies. He has done MBA and then PhD in Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhuji has very deeply studied, and he has actually mastered the art of teaching and mastered the art of training the teachers also. Actually, Prabhuji came to Attapur because there was teachers training course being conducted here. So for that, he came here to facilitate that course along with Lord Krsna Prabhu. So we are very fortunate. So Prabhuji was instrumental in raising funds for various projects, and he was also raising funds as well as managing the Gurukul. Now he is Gurukul in charge in Department of Music, Character Building at Mayapur. He is also Board of Examination. He is also member of the Board of Examination Department for making various Shastri courses. So Prabhuji looks after how the examination should be conducted in all the for all the courses which are being conducted within ISKCON. A super excellent teacher and renowned Kirtaniya. He is an inspiration to various people all over the world. So we are very, very fortunate today to have Prabhuji's association. Actually, I have been waiting for having Prabhuji's association for last 1 year. So almost it's after 13.5 months, Prabhuji has come here to give his association. So we are very, very thankful. And on behalf of Attapur congregation, we want to express our gratitude by chanting loudly Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Radhakant Prabhu. So I also consider myself very fortunate to be able to serve you all in some way. So today is a very special day. What is it? It's the beginning of Kartik Mas, Sharad Purnam. And so we'll discuss something for this entire month of Kartik is known for one pastime. Which is that pastime? Damodar Lila. Krishna, Akarshiti iti Krishna. So Krishna attracts everybody. So how he attracts through this Damodar Lila, today we will gorge and dive deep into this nectar. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I seek the blessings of His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu, who is our teacher and mentor. He has kindly come to give his association and bless us. So you see, Lord Krishna, he lived, our Acharyas mentioned, the timeline. So just like we all know that Lord Krishna, he manifested his pastimes on this planet for around 125 years. Out of which, the first 11 years, he was in Gokul Vrindavan. And those pastimes, those years, the pastimes that he exhibited in those years were most amazing, the sweetest. Krishna's name is Rasaraj. He is the king of all, he is the reservoir of all rasa. What we are searching for in life is rasa. We want some taste, some mellow through our relationships. And Krishna is the Rasaraj, he is the king of all mellows. And that he exhibits in his Vrindavan Leela. But the most amazing thing in Vrindavan is that all the Brajvasis, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they do not consider Krishna to be God. Just like Arjuna prays in Bhagavad Gita, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Param Uttam. They don't believe this. If somebody says Krishna is God to the Brajvasis, they will laugh at him. Krishna will not accept. One day Krishna, he is playing with his cowherd boyfriends and they are discussing. So Krishna said, I saved all of you so many times. I killed Aghasur, I killed Putra, I lifted Govardhan hill. So the friends, they are mocking Krishna. They say, don't lie. Putra you did not kill. Ma Yashoda, she's been offering prayers and chanting mantras for your protection to Lord Narayan. Because of her intense prayers, you were saved. Then Madhumangal. Madhumangal, he's Krishna's, he's Batu, he's a Brahmin. He says, you say that you finished Aghasur. You didn't kill Aghasur. All of us cowherd boyfriends, we went before you. Inside we finished him off. Then you came and you just took the credit. Govardhan hill. Where did you lift Govardhan hill? Madhumangal says, I was chanting mantras continuously. By my mystic power, Govardhan was floating in the sky and you just stood there acting as if you are holding Govardhan. And all that Krishna can do is simply laugh. He thinks, how can I make them understand? But this is what Krishna likes. He likes this sweetness, this informality. In Brahma Vimavan Leela, we see that what bewildered Lord Brahma was that Madhumangal, you see, when Krishna and all his cowherd boyfriends, they used to sit together and they used to eat from each other's tiffin boxes. They used to ask, what have you got in the tiffin? Krishna particularly used to ask all his friends, because he used to say, my mother Yashoda, she doesn't make nice food. So I'm going to eat what's there in your tiffin. So then he is taking from others' tiffin. So in this pastime, so Madhumangal, he has brought chas, buttermilk, and he has filled his mouth with chas. And Krishna is asking Madhumangal, I want chas. And Madhumangal says, finished, pot is finished. And he has all chas in his mouth. And what Krishna does, Krishna is in front of him, and then he punches Madhumangal like this. And all this jutha, it comes on Krishna. And he is tasting this, like this. So he is taking the maha of his devotees. Seeing this Brahma with all four of his heads, he got headache. He was so bewildered He could not understand that this, the Supreme Personality, who never takes anything except the higher standard. You know, bhoga, when we prepare bhoga, Krishna only accepts, as Lord Vishnu, he accepts only in sacrificial ceremonies. He accepts havisha, he accepts the grains that are offered to him in sacrifice. With the purest of Brahmanas chanting the mantras and making the offerings. And this same Krishna is eating jutha, he is eating the maha, he is eating the remnants of his own devotees. So that is why Brahma wanted to test Krishna. But the Brajvasis, they are convinced that Krishna is our Lala. That is what they think. Our acharyas mention that for the first 3 years and 4 months, Krishna stayed in, Nanda Maharaj along with the Brajvasis, they stayed in Gokul Mahavan. After that, they shifted on the other side of the Yamuna to Chatikara. From Chatikara, they went to Deeg. And from Deeg, they finally went to Nandagram and they settled down in Nandagram. So all of this, 3 years and 4 months. So this particular pastime of Damodar Leela happens in Gokul Mahavan. That means Krishna was around 3 years old. So it starts with this. This is the day of Diwali. The pastime happens on the day of Diwali. It's Amavasya. A day prior to Govardhan Puja. But at that time, Govardhan Puja had not begun. That happened when Krishna was 7 years old. So this, now it's going to be Indra Puja the next day. They're still performing worship to Lord Indra. So all the Brajvasis, they are making lots of preparation to be offered to Lord Indra the next day. So everybody's busy. And Krishna is, it's already morning now. My Yashoda is also preparing butter. She's churning the yogurt. It is interesting because my Yashoda has so many maid servants in her house. Nand Maharaj is the prince of Braj. Is the king of Braj. And there are so many servants that he has. So Maya Yashoda could have easily engaged many other servants in preparing some food for Krishna, churning butter for Krishna, but she wants to do it herself. And this is for 3 reasons. One, she is thinking that my Lala is not going to be satisfied only by my own milk. So I'll have to make something for him. Second, she feels that I should prepare some offering to Lord Narayan and feed that prasadam to Krishna so that he gets power, he gets strength, he gets energy, he gets protection if he eats prasadam. She's thinking like this. And she thinks if I prepare nice butter, then Krishna will feel that it is tasty enough that I don't have to go to others' houses and steal butter. So Maya Yashoda is thinking in this way. And she is churning the butter. So the acharyas say that Maya Yashoda, she is wearing very nice bracelets. She is having earrings. Her ankle bells. All of these are making a very nice sound as if they are kartals. And the churning rod, when she is churning with the rod, that sound, gharad, gharad sound is coming. A heavy sound like a mridanga is coming. And my Yashoda, in order to mitigate her separation from Krishna, Krishna is in the other room, he's sleeping. But she is feeling so much separation that she is chanting Brajvasi bhajans, Brajvasi songs of Krishna that the gopis have made up. She is singing. And she is churning at the same time. And her earrings, her ankle bells, she also wears a golden belt. That, along with her bracelets, in her bangles, all of this is making very nice sweet sound, along with the gharad gharad from the churning of the rod. It's like a bhajan going on. It's like kirtan going on. Our acharyas mentioned this is Krishna consciousness. No matter whatever we are doing, whatever service we are doing, we are conscious of Krishna. We are doing for his pleasure. Now Krishna gets up and he is thinking, why is my Yashoda not on my bed? Why is she not on my side? And he is feeling hungry. So he gets down off his bed. First he is afraid. He looks down and sees that there is some height. He takes the risk. He comes down. And then he goes near where Ma Yashoda is churning. There he approaches her and he holds the churning rod. He approaches her from behind and then he takes the churning rod. He holds, and Acharya has mentioned. Ma Yashoda is pleasantly surprised. She is smiling because she sees how intelligent is Krishna, that he wants attention. So he doesn't tell me that he doesn't tell anything. He just holds the churning rod so that I cannot churn. So I have no other option but to give him attention. Ma Yashoda thinks like this. Because Krishna is hungry. Our acharyas say how interesting it is that this personality is Atmaram. Another name for Krishna is Atmaram, self-satisfied. He is Aptakam. He is fully self-sufficient. He doesn't need any external source to give him any pleasure. But how can Atmaram be hungry? Here we see, Atmaram is hungry. He is so hungry that he makes Mother Yashoda stop her activity. Now Krishna, he knows Ma Yashoda's lap is his property. So he climbs onto Ma Yashoda's lap. And Ma Yashoda, because of her Vatsalya Bhakti and Prem for Krishna, milk is overflowing from her breasts out of love. And Krishna is busy suckling the milk. And this is a very beautiful exchange of Krishna and Ma Yashoda that is going on. There is a competition between Krishna's belly and Ma Yashoda's milk. Neither is finishing. Krishna's belly is increasing so as to take more and more milk. So in this way Krishna is relishing Vatsalya Prem with Ma Yashoda. Now at this time, Ma Yashoda has kept on the stove, she has kept milk to boil. Why does Ma Yashoda need milk to boil? Because she knows that Krishna will not be satisfied by my own milk. So he's going to feel hungry in a while. So what will I give him then? So then that's the milk. Now Nand Maharaj has 9 lakh cows. In these 9 lakh cows, there are special cows known as Padma Gandha cows. Our acharyas say that there are, out of these 9 lakh, 9 of them are selected. The most special cows are selected. 8 of them are fed special Padma Gandha grass. This grass is so special that when these cows, they eat this grass, the milk that they give has the fragrance of a lotus flower. This milk is fed to the 9th cow. And the milk that comes from the 9th cow is given to Krishna. That is Krishna's, that is a speciality. That much special milk Ma Yashoda prepares. So that milk is boiling. Now you see in Goloka everything has life. The milk also has life. The milk is looking at Ma Yashoda and the milk is thinking. Milk is thinking Krishna is going to be satisfied by Ma Yashoda's milk. He's not going to be hungry enough for me. What is the use of my life? Let me commit suicide by entering the fire. So the milk starts boiling and starts entering into the fire. Ma Yashoda, she sees that. And she tells Krishna that you're going to be hungry in a while. Just wait here, protect everything while I take off the milk and I come. So she abruptly, she removes Krishna, he's still suckling her breast. She removes him and then she places him and she runs away to put the milk off the stove. Now Krishna becomes very angry. He feels very hurt and very angry. This is again very interesting. One name of Krishna is Triguna Tirtha. He is beyond the 3 modes of material nature. Anger is in which mode? Is in passion. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhavaha. Rajo guna, passion creates anger. But this Krishna, he is beyond passion. Still he feels angry that why was I left? For Ma Yashoda, that milk is more important than feeding me. I will teach her a lesson. He thinks like this. So what does he do? This pot of half churned butter, Krishna picks up a rock from down. He thinks how he is going to now create a big mess without alarming Mother Yashoda. So what he does, he breaks it from below. You see, if you break a pot up front, then there's a sound, crack that's going to come. But Krishna breaks it from below. What he does, it's slight, he just touches it. and it breaks. So then all the half churned butter, it spills on the floor. So now Krishna feels that half lesson is taught, more lesson is to be taught. So now he goes ahead. He's thinking, now I have to hide. But in front of him he sees a big pool of half churned butter. Now he feels afraid. How am I going to cross? Again our Acharya says such an interesting thing. Krishna's name is Vamana. He's Trivikrama. 2 steps of land, he covers the entire universe. Now he's afraid of a puddle of milk. He goes back, he jumps. He lands right in between the puddle. Then with his buttery footprints, he moves inside the room. He climbs up on a wooden bed, takes up the pot from up, goes out of the house. There he sits on a grinding mortar. His monkey friends have also arrived. So Krishna eats some butter, gives it and feeds it to his monkey friends also. He thinks this should teach her a lesson. This, our Acharya has mentioned, this pot of butter that Krishna has taken is of yesterday's. It's yesterday's makhan, not today. Why? Because Krishna feels that if I eat yesterday's makhan, I will fall sick. That will be a good lesson to Mother Yashoda. Now Ma Yashoda, she has gone to take the milk out of the stove. The milk is thinking. You see, it's interesting. Prabhupada explains how everything in Goloka has life. He says sometimes Ma Yashoda, she wants to check. She's outside doing some work and she wants to check if the rice inside is ready or not. So from outside he calls, rice, are you ready? And the rice, normally what happens, we want to check rice, you take it and one grain you just press, so you understand whether the rice is cooked or not. Ma Yashoda, this is what she has to do. She just calls from outside, rice, are you ready? And the rice will reply, yes, I am ready. Goloka. So this milk, as it is conscious, this milk is now thinking that I have committed big aparadh. Because of me, Ma Yashoda got up, left Krishna there, and now she is coming towards me. What a big aparadhi I am. So then the milk thinks that better not enter into the fire. It goes up, goes again inside the pot, the milk. By the time Ma Yashoda arrives. Then Ma Yashoda comes back again and she sees big mess there and she understands the smartness of her son. That I told him to take care, but he got so angry that he's made this big mess. But she also sees his buttery footprints going in one direction. So she takes a stick, a jeweled stick, thinking that today I will teach Krishna a lesson. And she hides it in her sari so as to not frighten him immediately. And she goes in the direction of the footprints. Now Krishna is there, he is having a nice time with feeding his monkey friends. And he sees Ma Yashoda approaching and with anger. He has never seen her so angry. And Krishna he's on the mortar. He's sitting on the grinding mortar. So when Ma Yashoda is arriving, Krishna, he stands on the mortar and jumps. The mortar is almost it's tumbling. And Krishna, when he jumps, he's almost going to fall. He loses his balance. It takes 2-3 steps for him to regain his balance. And he starts running. He starts running away from Ma Yashoda. Our Acharya has mentioned how amazing is this. That great munis who travel at the speed of the mind, they cannot catch Krishna. And here we see Ma Yashoda is running behind him. He is running away from her, only to be caught by her in a while. Ma Yashoda can catch Krishna. Because only a pure devotee with love in the heart, only that person can catch Krishna. So Ma Yashoda is running behind Krishna. Now the flowers in her hair, they are thinking, there are 2 groups of flowers in Mother Yashoda's hair. One group of flowers, they are with Mother Yashoda. Other group of flowers are on Krishna's side. Well, the group of flowers that are on Krishna's side, they are thinking that who is this? What does Ma Yashoda think of herself? How can she chastise Krishna? How can she make him run and afraid like this? And the other set of flowers, they think, how great is my Yashoda? Look at her position. Our position is not at her, on her hair, it is at her feet. Thinking like this, they fall off from her hair. And the other set of flowers who are on Krishna's side, they think that we do not belong here because my Yashoda is not doing the right thing. So they also fall off from her hair. Her weight reduces and she becomes faster. The Acharyas mentioned. She becomes faster, she runs faster. And finally she catches up with Krishna to catch him and holds him. She shows him the stick. She shows him her stick. No, Krishna is very afraid. He is really afraid. How ironic this is. What a contradiction. Yad bhibeti swayam bhayam. Fear personified is afraid of Krishna. But here he is afraid of chastisement from my Yashoda. The personalities who chastise everyone in this universe. Yamraj. Sounds familiar? Many of us must have met him also. A couple of times. This Yamraj is afraid of Krishna. And this same Krishna, he is afraid of my Yashoda. How sweet is this? And he's really afraid. He's crying. We'll be today onwards we sing Damodar Ashtakam, Rudantam Muhur Netra. He's crying. Previous to this, Krishna knew that whenever he had to get out of a situation, he simply used to cry, and my Yashoda used to melt seeing Krishna. And all chastisement used to be over. But this time, my Yashoda did not stop chastising him, did not stop showing the stick, despite Krishna crying. And then Krishna understood and concluded, this time it's a serious matter. So Krishna is, my Yashoda is chastising Krishna. She's telling him, you're like a monkey. You're a house plunderer. Krishna says, if I am a monkey, then why don't you let me be with the monkeys? I will be in the forest and I will stay there. I will not come home. My Yashoda says, Krishna, you are a thief. Our Acharyas, this very beautiful song is there. Chaurashtakam. Braje prasidam navanita chauram gopangananam chadukhula chauram aneka janmarjita papa chauram chauraraganyam purusham namami. Krishna is the king of thieves. He is famous in Braj as the Makhan Chor, as the one who steals butter. Gopam Gananam Chadukhula Chauram. He takes away, he steals away the distress of all the Gopas and the Gopis in Braj. Aneka Papa, he steals away not only from his devotees, he steals away so many lifetimes of performed sinful activities. He steals away all of this. Such a thief has never been seen. In this song, they also mention that Krishna, he is the stealer of the hearts of his devotees. Once he steals the heart and he runs away, what else can you do except run behind him? So thief. So that kind of a thief he is. My Yashoda is calling him a thief. Krishna says, how am I a thief? You ran, you left me, you put me down and you went yourself to put the milk off the stove. In a hurry you went, your anklets, they broke the pot. All the half-churned butter, it went on the floor. And some monkeys, inspired by Paramatma, some monkeys came to steal butter. I took the pot. Meanwhile, you came with a stick, so I became afraid and I ran. What is my fault in this? Mahashoda is saying, who broke the pot? Tell me the truth. Krishna is saying, the Supreme Lord's stick broke the pot. Yashoda says, who stole the butter? Tell me the truth. Krishna said, the monkeys. And Yashoda is saying, monkeys? How did the monkeys come? The one who created them inspired them. So this kind of a sweet exchange is going on between Krishna and Yashoda. But Krishna is still very afraid. Ma Yashoda tells him, I am going to bind you today. So many complaints from the neighboring gopis, I am going to bind you and see to it that you cannot steal any butter, that you cannot get out of the house. Then you will learn your lesson. So then, because the mortar is already there, Ma Yashoda says, just wait here, I'll bring ropes to tie you. So then she goes inside the house and picks up ropes, what she can find. She ties the rope to Krishna's waist. Dam means rope and Udar means belly. Damodar. So Ma Yashoda is tying Krishna by this rope. And she ties him, but the rope is short. Short by 2 fingers. It's 2 fingers short. She is not able to tie him. So then Ma Yashoda thinks, let me go and bring some more rope. She calls her servants and they get more rope from the house. All the rope somehow shrinks and it's 2 fingers short. Ma Yashoda is confused. How is this? How is this possible? 2 fingers short? Meanwhile, other gopis who are from the neighboring houses, they also see there is some scene going on. So they ask Ma Yashoda, what has happened? Ma Yashoda says that his naughtiness has surpassed all boundaries today. So today I am going to tie him up. Now these gopis, they have had their own share of pastimes with Krishna. They thought, every time we come and complain, Ma Yashoda takes Krishna's side and she thinks we are crazy. Today what did Krishna do that she is tying him up? And Krishna is famous for his pranks with the gopis. Once it so happened that one neighboring gopi, when Krishna stole butter, so she had devised a plan by which she caught Krishna red-handed. So when she caught Krishna red-handed, so she took him to Ma Yashoda. And she stood in the courtyard and she said, see Ma Yashoda, today I have caught Krishna red-handed. See, every time I tell you, you don't believe me. Today you see. And Ma Yashoda, she is doing her household chores. She is busy. She is thinking, what is he speaking? Come inside, come inside. And this gopi is going on. See what he did, his makhan chore. See what he is doing. Every time he comes, you don't have makhan in your house or what? And today I have caught him, Ma Yashoda says, see whom you have brought. She looks and she sees that it's not Krishna but her own son standing there. She gets into shock. She says, I brought Krishna, I was sure. How is it that he's standing here? And then she's confused. She goes out. And then she looks again. She sees it's Krishna. Krishna says, Maya, this time you complained. Don't do this. This time you complained, I became your son. Next time if you complain, I'll become your husband. Another gopi, she said, Krishna, I am going to bind you. And she was trying to bind Krishna, she was not able to. Krishna said, I will teach you how to bind me. Get a rope. You stand on the pillar. So Krishna takes the rope. He goes around the pillar. Ties this gopi up. And then he flees off. He runs away. And that gopi is bound. This kind of pastimes Krishna had with the gopis. So they used to come and complain to Ma Yashoda. Ma Yashoda didn't used to listen. Now Ma Yashoda is tying up Krishna and the gopis are saying, such a sweet innocent child, this is the age in which they do this. Leave him, leave him. Ma Yashoda says, no, today he has surpassed all boundaries. I am going to tie him up. You all get the ropes of your house. So all the ropes of Nand Maharaj's house are over. Now Ma Yashoda has engaged everybody in the service of tying up Krishna by getting ropes from their houses. And thus in Braj there was a rope festival. Everybody is getting ropes from their houses. So many ropes. And these ropes, somehow or other, they are all shrinking and becoming 2 fingers too short that Krishna cannot be tied. Our Acharya has mentioned, how is this? You see, what happens in Vrindavan is that Krishna's Leela Shakti, she is orchestrating events based on Krishna's desire. When Ma Yashoda was binding up Krishna, that was the time for Krishna to go out and play with his friends. So in his heart, he wanted to go and play with his friends. Now Leela Shakti, as being the maid servant of Krishna, she wants to facilitate Krishna's desire. So Krishna's desire is to go out and play. So she was making the rope smaller. And because Krishna didn't want to be tied up, he wanted to go outside and play. So therefore, all the ropes were shrinking and they were always 2 fingers too short. Now all the ropes come. Again, 2 fingers too short. It's already evening. This pastime starts in the morning. Afternoon, Ma Yashoda is trying to tie up Krishna, and it's almost evening now. One Acharya mentions that there was a small girl there who also participated in this rope festival by giving her small ribbon. And when that ribbon was added to the ropes, it is after that that Krishna became bound up. And who was that small girl? That was Radharani. This is proof that only Srimati Radharani's love, it can bind Krishna. Now what happens is Ma Yashoda is trying so hard to tie up Krishna, putting so much labor, she's sweating. A drop of perspiration falls on Krishna's face, on Krishna's lotus-like face. He sees that Ma Yashoda is working so hard to tie me up. His heart softens, he melts, becomes compassionate on her, and thus agrees to be bound up. It is now that his Kripa Shakti, which is the most powerful of all of Krishna's energies, Kripa Shakti, that supersedes all other energies of Krishna. And thus suddenly now the rope is just enough for him to be bound. And now thus he is bound. Ma Yashoda tells him, now you remain here, this will be your punishment and lesson. Krishna is waiting there, he's crying. All his friends come and say, what happened, what happened? Krishna is simply crying. All the friends go away. Now that day, Balram and Rohini had gone to Upananda's house because they had an invitation. Evening time, Balram comes back. Balram looks at Krishna, bound. He says, who dared to do this to you? Who is that rascal who has bound you? Tell me, I'll finish that person off. Who is it? Krishna says, Ma Yashoda. Balram says, oh. Balram says, I will do something. Kana, don't worry, I will protect you. I'll free you. So he goes inside and he tells Ma Yashoda, Ma Yashoda, do you know who he is? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the source of all incarnations. He is Vamana, he is Matsya, he is Kurma, he is Varaha. He is the same Vishnu whom you worship. Ma Yashoda says, and who are you? He says, I am Ananta Shesh. I am Sheshnag. Ma Yashoda takes a stick. She says, all the incarnations had to come in my house only. She takes the stick and she says, run away, otherwise I will tie you up also. And Balram goes out. He looks at Krishna. He says, I told you so many times. Why do you do so much of naughtiness? This time Ma Yashoda is very upset. And he also goes away to pray, to play. Krishna is sitting. Now he's standing there on the motor. He is able to move, and of course Krishna can unbind himself. Krishna is Mukunda. He is the giver of liberation. Who can bind him? But here he is bound. This is the beauty of Damodar Lila. But although in a bound state, he can still liberate others. And suddenly his glance falls upon these two twin Arjuna trees, Nalakuvera and Manigriva. He remembers. Actually, when he sees these two trees, he just remembers one thing. Who can guess? He remembers his pure devotee Narad Muni. He remembers Narad Muni. He remembers that Narad Muni had given a curse to Nalakuvera and Manigriva, the two sons of Kuvera, who were so intoxicated by pride and vanity that they were engrossed and steeped in deep sense gratification, that they did not have the shame to cover themselves even when a personality like Narad Muni came there. For their own benefit and deliverance, Narad Muni cursed them, that you shall become trees. You like to remain naked, you don't even have the sense to cover yourself, you become trees. Until Lord Krsna himself delivers you. The blessing of a pure devotee. So Nalakuvera and Manigriva, now Krishna is remembering that Narad Muni has promised, so I have to fulfill his desire. In Krishna's mind, he wants to serve his devotees. That's how he functions. So he sees these two trees. Now our acharyas mentioned, these trees always existed, but why on this particular day did Krishna liberate them? Because this day Krishna himself felt the pain of being bound up. He himself was bound, so he knew what it means to remain in bondage. So he was seeing that Nalakuvar and Manigriva, they are bound. So let me liberate them. So he moves towards these twin Arjuna trees. His mortar gets fixed in between them. And he tugs, pulls. Huge sound. Two trees being uprooted and falling to the ground. And everybody in Braj, they hear this sound and they are shocked and frightened as to what has happened. It is mentioned that except the cowherd boys, everybody in Braj, they fainted for a muhurat. For a period of time, they all fainted. They regained composure. Nand Maharaj, frightened, he came running there to see what happened. Other elderly Gopas also came there, running to see what had happened. And Krishna was crying. Krishna is crying. Nand Maharaj, he takes Krishna in his lap, he caresses him. He says, who did this to you? Who tied you up? Which rascal did this? Nand Maharaj is saying. And Krishna is saying, Ma Yashoda did this. Nand Maharaj says, what happened? What happened? So then Krishna's boyfriends, all his cowherd boyfriends, they are narrating what happened, what they saw from a distance. They said Krishna was bound. He came and tugged in between. His mortar got stuck in between these two trees. So he bound, he forced, he tugged, he pulled. And both these trees uprooted. And two very heavenly divine personalities came there. They appeared in front of Krishna. They were very bright, very effulgent, wearing beautiful helmets and beautiful garlands, beautiful garments. And they're offering prayers to Krishna. We saw, Baba, they're offering prayers to Krishna. And Krishna, he later on blessed them. And they flew away. In this way, in detail, they explain what they saw. All of the Brajvasis, including Nand Maharaj, when they heard, they did not believe. They thought this is just children's stories. But they were still wondering, how was it that without any thunderbolt, without any crash, how was it that these two trees fell down in this manner? They were thinking like this. Now Nand Maharaj, he was also upset with Yashoda Ma. Because Ma Yashoda, when she heard what was happening, she became very, very morose. She did not eat anything. Out of respect for her, none of the other gopis also ate anything. Everybody is hungry. Nanda Baba had taken Krishna and Balaram to the Yamuna to take bath after this incident. Nanda Baba comes back with Krishna and Balaram, dresses them up nicely. They sit down to eat. Mother Rohini comes and she tells Nanda Baba, Ma Yashoda has not eaten anything. Since morning she is hungry. Out of respect for her, none of the other ladies have eaten. Everybody is hungry. Krishna, you must come. Forgive Ma Yashoda. Krishna says, I am only my father's son. Mother Rohini signals to Balram. Balram takes Krishna's hand, trying to pull him to the inside room to meet Ma Yashoda. Krishna tugs away and he goes on Nand Maharaj's shoulders. He hugs him. So I am not going anywhere. Mother Rohini is saying, see, your mother is suffering. Krishna doesn't say anything. So now Nand Maharaj is thinking how to reconcile the whole situation. Everybody is hungry. Krishna is upset. Nand Baba says, okay, I will beat her. Is that okay? Lala, if you give me permission, I will beat her. And on hearing this, he feels compassionate for Ma Yashoda. He knows Ma Yashoda is in the inside room weeping continuously. So he feels compassion. And he says, no, don't beat her. And he runs inside, straight into Ma Yashoda's arms. And thus, Yashoda Damodar are reunited. Ma Yashoda, for the next 3 days, she did not come out to face Nanda Baba, thinking that this was her fault. After the third day, Krishna himself took Maya Yashoda and brought her in front of Nand Maharaj. So this is the Damodar Leela. One very special thing that we learn from this pastime is that these two fingers by which always were, the rope was too short by two fingers. These two fingers, they represent something. What is it that these two fingers represent? Our acharyas say these two fingers, one finger represents eagerness, the eagerness to serve Krishna. That means our effort. It means our effort. And the second finger, it means Krishna's mercy. Ma Yashoda was trying very hard to bind up Krishna. It is because of her labor, it was because of her effort that Krishna became compassionate on her and he agreed to be tied. This is like, it can be a mantra for success in life also. Anything that we want is finally based on Krishna's mercy. Even material success it only comes when Krishna is pleased. And therefore we can remember this lesson. That means for anything in life, it is always dependent on these two factors. Which is what? Our effort and Krishna's mercy. Always both of them are required. It doesn't work. Some people think that one is okay. Shri Radha Madhav Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Some people think that only because of our efforts can we achieve whatever we want. And sometimes people feel that it is only because of the mercy of the Lord that everything happens. But in this pastime we learn that it's actually a balance of both. Our effort, and when Krishna becomes pleased, he awards by his mercy. He becomes merciful on us, by which we achieve, by which we attain success. In spiritual life, the most amazing thing is that success does not depend upon anything external. It just depends upon our endeavor. Because when we sincerely try to please Krishna and serve him with this intention of pleasing him and his devotees, then for sure he is pleased. And success is guaranteed. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he was always absorbed in thinking, how will I be able to fulfill the mission of my spiritual master, the instructions of my spiritual master? He made it his life and soul, always thinking, wherever he was, even when he was in Grihastha life, he was always thinking, how can I serve the instructions of my spiritual master? The final letter that Srila Prabhupada wrote to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur 2 weeks before Saraswati Thakur departed was asking him for service, begging him for service, because he said, I am a fallen Grihastha, I am not able to engage myself in your mission more and more. What can I do? How can I serve you? How can I serve you? He was always asking this. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he reiterated what he had mentioned previously to Abhay Charan Day. In his first meeting, he said, if you are an English-speaking educated young man, why don't you preach this message of Lord Chaitanya in the Western world in the English language? That same thing he wrote in his letter to Srila Prabhupada, that you must preach. On the bank of Radhakund, once Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati gave me the instruction to Srila Prabhupada, if you ever get money, print books. That is why you see book distribution is so important. Because Srila Prabhupada, he took these instructions to his heart, always endeavoring. When he was in Delhi, he was himself writing Back to Godhead magazine, printing, proofreading, editing, distributing, everything, one-man show. The sun was so hot, he had a sunstroke and he fell down. On some occasion, there was nobody to pick him up also. He himself got up after a while and went on. The printer from whom Prabhupada used to get the Back to Godhead magazine printed, he mentioned that sometimes Bhaktivedanta Swami didn't used to have breakfast also. He used to come from Vrindavan to Delhi, and there he used to save money so that he could print magazine, he could print books, he could print Bhagavatam first canto. So this was Srila Prabhupada's dedication. So much endeavor, special endeavor. And because of this, we can clearly see how Krishna rewarded him. When Srila Prabhupada made so many temples, he established so many temples, he told his disciples, I left my house for Krishna, But you see, Krishna now has given me 108 temples to go to. Prabhupada said that I left my family, my sons and daughters. But now Krishna has given me so many sons and daughters. So nobody who gives to Krishna is a loser. He's only there to gain. And that is Krishna's mercy. That is actually Srila Prabhupada's mercy, that we have such an opportunity within ISKCON to serve him. And this Damodar Lila is basically there to remind us. You see, this is the reason why we show Deep. We show Deep to Yashoda Damodar. We show Deep to the Lord entire month. Sometimes, even Diwali. Diwali we know is the festival of lights. Actually, Diwali is the auspicious return of Krishna coming into Maya Yashoda's arms. That is why we actually celebrate Diwali. Krishna returning back to Maya Yashoda. So that is just one pastime. And you see, the whole month we are offering lamp. This is what Krishna can do for his surrendered devotees. Yashoda, the name Yashoda means, Yasha means fame, Da means giver, the giver of fame. So Ma Yashoda, she gives fame to Krishna. How? She's giving fame. She's making Krishna famous. How? Because Krishna through this pastime is showing to the world that I can only be controlled by my pure devotees. I can be controlled by my pure devotees only. This is what Krishna is proclaiming to everyone through this pastime. So this entire month of Kartik, there is a very special occasion. In the Skanda Purana it is mentioned, as Satyuga is the best of yugas, Vedas are the best of scriptures, Ganga is the best of rivers, so Kartik is the best of months, the most dear to Krishna. This Kartik comes from Kartika Devi. Kartika Devi is none other than Srimati Radharani herself. And the glories of Kartik are mentioned in so many Puranas. It is mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami mentions, in this month of Kartik, one should daily worship Lord Damodar. This name of Krishna, Damodar, comes from this pastime. Dam means rope and Udar means belly. The one who was tied by rope on his belly. That is Damodar. So one should daily worship Lord Damodar and sing the Damodar Ashtakam. 8 prayers of Lord Damodar. This is recommendation by Sanatana Goswami in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. It is mentioned in the Skanda Purana that there is no other month equal to Kartik. The month of Kartik is more dear to Lord Krishna than anything else. Anybody performs a little worship of Lord Hari in this month, Krishna gives that devotee his own abode. Padma Purana, this mention is there. So we can perform Kartik Vrata. Kartik Vrata means increase in devotional activity. It means that more chanting, more hearing, offering deep every day, offering charity to Brahmanas, waking up early in Brahma Muhurat. We all know that there are so many devotional activities that we can perform so that we can make spiritual progress. Kartik is the month to take these vows. This is the month. We can take sankalpa that, let me take this vow by which I will advance spiritually. And every day we chant the Shri Shri Damodar Ashtakam, the prayers by Satyavrat Muni. Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rupam. That means I am offering my respectful obeisances to Sachidananda Rupa. That is Sri Krishna himself. Sachidananda Vigraha. Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajmanam. Because when Krishna is running, Dhavamanam means running, he is running, his kundal, his earrings, Krishna's earrings are shark-shaped. Shark-shaped earrings he wears. They are swinging to and fro. Yashoda bhiyo lukhala dhavamanam param rishtam atyantato drutya gopya. Yashoda, because she was churning the butter and then she's running behind Krishna. I'm offering obeisances. He says that he has been caught by her. Krishna agrees to be caught. That is the beauty of Damodar Lila. So that Krishna I am offering obeisances. That form of Damodar I am offering my obeisances. Rudantam muhur netra yugmam rijantam karam bhoja yugmena shatanka netram. So Krishna, he sees the stick in his hand, Mother Yashoda's hand. He's crying. Right? In his lotus-like eyes, there are tears. He's rubbing his eyes again and again. Rubbing, like how small children do. He's rubbing. It's so sweet. With his two lotus hands. In his eyes is fear. Muhu Shwasa Kampa, Tri Rekha Kanta. Krishna's Kanta, his neck, it has three rekha, three lines. It's like a conch shell, 3 lines. And he's breathing heavily. Like this, he's breathing heavily. Stita Gareva Damodaram Bhakti Baddham. Go behind. Yeah. Saying that I am offering my obeisances to Damodar, who is not bound with ropes, but is by his mother's pure love. To him I am offering my obeisances. Go next. Iti Drikshva Leelabhir Ananda Kunde. So now Satyavrat Muni, he has written this Damodarashtakam. He says, such Leela, when I hear all the inhabitants of Braja, all the Brajavasis, they are drowning in the pool of ecstasy. So sweet these pastimes are. Swaghosham nimajjantam akhyapayantam. Tadi eshitagneshu bhakter jitatam puna prematastam satavriti vande. Yes, Satyavrat Muni is saying that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. Not that one considers Krishna great. No, Krishna prefers this chastisement of the gopis than the hymns of the Vedas. This is what he loves. Next. Varam deva moksham na moksham vadimva. Now Satyavrat Muni is saying that, oh Krishna, if you want to give me some boon, I don't desire for moksha, I don't want liberation. Now moksham vadimva. Now I don't want to go to the spiritual world also, he says. He says, what is my desire? Nachanyam vrineham vareshadapiha. Idam te vapurnatha gopala balam sada me manasya virashtam ki mani. In my mind, please let me have this darshan of Bal Gopal form. This form of yours, of Bal Gopal. Please let me have darshan again and again. Next. Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilair vritam kuntale snigda raktascha gopya. Muhus chumbitam bimba raktadharame manasya virashtam alam lakshalabhya. Now he is describing Krishna's lotus face. Krishna's face is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red. Ma Yashoda has kissed it again and again. Krishna's lips are like the bimba fruit. So this vision he is seeing within his mind, Satyavrat Muni. And he prays, let this come again and again within my mind. He says, Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabdi Magnam. Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Dinam Batanum Grihane Shama Magnam Edhakshi Drishya. He says, I offer obeisances unto you, O Damodar, O Ananta, Vishnu, O Master. Please be pleased upon me, and by showering your glance of mercy, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows. I am immersed in an ocean, worldly sorrows. So many problems are there in this world. He says, please be merciful unto me. Kuveratma Jau Baddha Murtyaiva Yatvat. He is mentioning about Kuveratma Jau Baddha, means that sons of Kuvera, Nala Kuvera and Manikriva. He says, you liberated them from the curse of Narada and made them into great devotees. In the same way, give me your prema bhakti. Tatha prema bhaktim swakam me prayacha. Na mokshe grau me sti damodare hai. Don't give me moksha. I just want, you gave them your mercy, give me your mercy. You made them into devotees. Make me also into your devotee. Namaste stu dhamne sfurat dipti dhamne tvadiyo darayatha vishwasya dhamne. He's saying, I am offering my obeisances to the rope that has bound your belly. Such a special rope. Namo radhikaya tvadiya priyaya namo nantalilaaya devaya tubhyam. And I bow down to Radharani, Srimati Radharani, who is most dear to you. I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes. Yes. So this is Sri Sri Damodarashtakam. So now we will be having Damodarashtakam shortly. So right now we will all request you to, we'll have some Tulsi Arti, then Sandhya Arti, and then finally Damodarashtakam. And lamps are also ready. So all of you please offer lamps from today onwards. And in your mind, you can think of some resolution Yeah, some kind of resolution. That means something that you can do extra this month. Something extra. That than what you're normally doing. If you're chanting certain number of rounds, you can increase. Something that you can do. Something extra. And you see the benefit that you get. Because this month is like, they say, a sale. In a sale, what happens? You get more for less. Discount. ऐसा ऑफर है भक्ति का. So we can take advantage in this month. Any questions or comments? Yes, any questions or comments on what we discussed? So this whole month, please make it a point to offer lamp. Even at your home you can do. As much as you can come in the temple, wonderful. Every day evening after Sandhya Arati, we'll be having Deepdan and Damodar Ashtakam. Try and learn these shlokas, very nice. 8 stanzas, 8 verses are there. Very beautiful. Very deep meaning. And this is how we express our devotion to the Lord. Shri Yashoda Damodar ki, Shri Damodar Ashtakam ki, Shri Kartik Maas ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. We all thank Nitai Jivan Prabhu once by chanting loudly Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for your time and association. Hare Krishna.